Welcome to Buffzone. I'm here just outside the Champions Center here on the University of Colorado campus, where the Buffaloes are off to a 3-1 start in football. A great win last week against Oregon, 41-38 up in Eugene, just stunning the Ducks, a team that has just pounded this team for 5 years since the Buffs got into the Pac-12 conference. There's been a lot of excitement over that win, not only around the team but around campus as well. But really the theme for the Buffs this week has been turning the page. A lot of people want to continue talking about Oregon, but the Buffs want to talk about Oregon State, which is their opponent this Saturday, 12:30 p.m. at Folsom Field. And the Buffs said it's important that you got to look towards Oregon State, not back at Oregon.
Everybody's still talking about Oregon, and that's done. We're on to Oregon State, and Oregon State's, a good team. And if you don't go in there with the right attitude, any Pac-12 team, you're not going to come out, with the win. So we're just worrying about ourselves, and we're going out there and playing Colorado football.
I mean, just like any other win, when we win Idaho State, Colorado State, Oregon, it don't really matter. It just gives us confidence. Our goal every week is to go 1-0, and our ultimate goal is to be Pac-12 champions. So, in the grand scheme of things, it definitely helps that. And we were happy, we celebrated, we had our fun. But now we're just trying to, focus in on Oregon State and keep this train rolling. So.
Yeah, it was definitely fun, the first day, after we won, the first day or two. But as soon as we got back, started watching Oregon State film, everybody forgot about it. Everybody in our circle, coaches and the players and stuff like that. So it was definitely fun the first couple of days.
Well, one of the big topics this week coming into the Oregon State game is who's going to play quarterback. Steven Montez was tremendous last week against Oregon, 333 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 135 yards rushing and a touchdown. Pac-12 Player of the Week as he filled in for injured starter Sefo Liufau, the senior who has a sprained right ankle. Sefo still not 100%, but getting a lot better. So who's going to start this week? We don't know yet. It's probably a game-time decision, but Coach MACINTYRE talked about the quarterback situation coming into this week.
We'll still probably be more of a game-time decision again. Sefo was moving around okay today, and so we'll just kind of see where he is as the end of the week approaches.
Any setbacks with him?
No setbacks. No setbacks. He's still, he's still going ahead, but he had a pretty good sprain on it.
All right, so on to Oregon State. The Beavers are 1-2, have yet to play a conference game. Last week they got beat by Boise State. It's a team that's really kind of struggling to get out of the gate under Coach Gary Anderson in his second season. Last year, the Buffs, that was their only conference win, was up in Corvallis, 17-13 against the Beavers. It's a much different team. They throw the ball a little bit better. They've got some talented players, and Coach MACINTYRE gave us a scouting report on Oregon State.
Oregon State, offensively, they can make a lot of plays. Their quarterback, Garrettson's a good player. He's a good athlete. I knew about him from high school. You might remember his grandfather, Garrettson, who was the NBA referee. So there's a great bloodline of athletics in their family. Also, Boulder, their wide receiver, number 6, can fly. He made some big plays on us last year. He's also an excellent returner. I think he's #1 in the country right now. And kickoff returns and punt returns, I guess, combined. But I think kickoff, he leads the country. And, offensively, their offensive line is big. And they have a huge running back, Ryan Nall, who pretty much ran over us some parts of the game last year. So we've got to really be able to control him and tackle him better. He's a physical young man. And then defensively, they're playing a lot more man coverage. I like their secondary. They're more athletic, I think, than they were last year. I like their safeties, number 9 and number 3, Brandon Arnold and Devin Chappelle. I think they're really good players. They're big and athletic. And then number 47, I can't pronounce his last name, but I'll call his first name Bright. He's a very good pass rusher. So I've been impressed with what they did. They, they had a couple of mistakes in the Boise game that kind of got them behind quick, but they kept battling. They had a chance. It should have been 31-24. With about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, but they didn't get it done. So they've got a good football team. They're a much improved football team from last year when we played them.
One player to really watch for Oregon State this week is Victor Bolden, the wide receiver. He's a talented receiver who could make some plays in the passing game, but really as a kick returner, he's one of the best in the country. He had a kickoff return for a touchdown against Boise State last week, and the Buffaloes have really got to watch out for him. Davis Price is handling kickoffs now for the Buffs, does not quite reach the end zone, so the Buffs are going to have to do really well in kick coverage. Coach MACINTYRE talked about that aspect of this week's game.
Yeah, I'd like to kick it out of the end zone, no doubt. Diego was doing that all the time. So I would assume we're going to have more kickoff returns because their legs aren't quite as strong or hitting it like Diego was yet. So we've got to cover well, and Bolden's really good. He's quick and fast, and they do a good job blocking up front. They give him, they're excited about him because they know he can return it. So their guys in front do a good job of blocking. So we've got to do a job of defeating our blocks and covering hard. I mean, he's going to be tough to handle.
All right, before we get out of here, let's turn our focus to the Buff of the week, and who else could it be but Steven Montez. Just a great performance last week for the redshirt freshman. Again, he was Pac-12 Player of the Week and 468 yards of total offense, and he's got to be our Buff of the week.
I knew I had to make up for the Michigan game going 0 for 7. That's horrible. So I had to come out, and I knew I had to play a good game, and just the preparation all week prepared me, and coaches had faith, players had faith, and we just went out there and made plays. The film's never as good as you think, and it's never as bad as you think. So when I went back, I thought I had a pretty good game. I saw that there's still tons of room to improve. I could have had a way better game, and I missed a lot of things. So we got to go and improve on that. Oh yeah, that trust is huge. I mean, just to always have faith behind you and know that your teammates always got your back, and they always believe in you to go out there and get a win, no matter who's playing. I think it happened in practice, all the preparation before. I think they saw that I was ready, and they were confident in me going into the game.
All right, thank you for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing how Steven or Stefo does this week and how the rest of the team does as they come off of that big win against Oregon. They really need to put it together and have a second great performance in the Pac-12, and they've got an opportunity to start 2-0 in Pac-12, which they've never done. So great opportunity for the Buffs, and we'll look forward to talking to you again next week as we preview the game at USC.